All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live chat. Thank you for joining us. First, I want to do some quick introductions just so that you know who all of us are. So, my name is Lily Belber. I am a senior marketing major. I have a minor in management and a concentration in digital marketing and marketing communications, and I'm going to be your moderator tonight. We also have Elizabeth, Brianna, and Christian. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. Hi, guys. My name is Elizabeth. I am a freshman. I'm a double major. I have English education and history, and I'm an educational studies minor in the honors program.
Awesome. Brianna?
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I couldn't unmute my mic. Um, Hi, I am Brianna. My pronouns are she, hers. I'm a freshman. I'm a management major with a creative arts minor, and I'm on the pre-law track in the honors program.
Very nice. And Christian?
Hi, I'm Christian. I'm a sophomore. I'm an actuarial science major and a computer science minor.
Cool. Okay. So, first of all, congratulations to all of our admitted students. It's really exciting. We're going to go through some questions, kind of give you some tips on how to make your college decision, especially from Siena students. So, our first question is, how did you decide on Siena? Elizabeth, do you want to start?
Sure. So I decided on Siena after I visited campus. There's just such a community feeling everywhere on campus. Everyone is super friendly, and it immediately felt like home to me. I knew that it would be a good place for me for the next 4 years.
Awesome. Christian, oh, so sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you want me to go? Okay. I actually had like kind of a similar experience to Elizabeth. Um, I visited campus a lot of times before I actually decided, but every time I came, it was just a very welcoming feeling, and I felt like people were remembering me and knew my name, and that was something that was really important to me, and it feels like home.
Long Island, so it was a nice 3 hour ride up every single time. Uh, Eventually, it was between me, this and another school, and eventually made the decision that this was the right place, and very happy I made that decision.
Awesome. I know that we all are very happy that we made our decision on going to Siena. With that, going into freshman year and making your decision on where to go to school, you're a little stressed out, you're a little nervous. So, what advice do you have for incoming freshmen on going into college and how to prepare and what to look out for? Brianna, do you want to start?
Sure. I was definitely really nervous coming in, especially like in the times that we're in right now. I was definitely worried that I wasn't going to be able to make friends and it was just going to be so different and not what I wanted. But Siena's really has been really good about making things as normal as possible and still holding events and making things just as fun as they would be when there wasn't a pandemic. And I think if you just put yourself out there, like post in the Facebook group and just try to join clubs, meet people, talk to people if in your classes, if you do choose to come here, and don't be nervous because everyone's in the same boat as you. That's something I really learned is that everyone feels the same way.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The Facebook group is a really good way to meet people, especially before you move in. Start really getting to know who your friends might be, who's interested in the same things you are. Does any of you did any of you join your Facebook group and start, getting friends that way, looking for roommates that way? Did anyone meet their roommate through Facebook?
I didn't. I went random, but I think that was the best decision for me. as opposed to like choosing my roommate, and it worked out really well for me. So
I knew my roommate beforehand, but a lot of my best friends here chose their roommates through Facebook and were great matches. It's a great way to just kind of put a little bit about yourself out there and you get kind of the same amount of information back from someone else. And if you feel like you might work well to live together, then you can add them on Snapchat, follow them on Instagram. And it's just like a good, easy way to get to know someone and kind of evaluate if you want to live with them.
Yeah, I was always too scared to post in the Facebook group, and I don't think you should be at all, because I think it's good, tell people about a little bit about yourself before you get here. Because when you get here, you're probably going to be talking about yourself a lot during orientation when you're making new friends. So definitely a good opportunity to start, start like building confidence and start just talking to people.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So freshman orientation is where you're going to meet a lot of friends too and start to branch out and build your confidence, especially your first week of college. So can you guys tell everyone a little bit about your experiences at freshman orientation?
So I'm a freshman right now. So Brianna and I had a very similar experience. Hopefully yours will be a little bit less COVID-like, but it was still very like helpful with getting to know people. It was still pretty much the fullest extent that you could expect for orientation. So Shanna does a great job of ensuring that your transition is still prioritized. It was fun. We play a lot of different games. You get to know people who live in your hallway. You get to know your roommate so much better than you do before you meet each other, or even if you meet each other, just like settling in, living together, figuring out your schedules and such. You learn a lot about the school, campus, where things are, what you're going to need. So orientation is definitely something that I miss. Like I wish that I could go back and relive it. So definitely something for you to look forward to.
yeah, definitely. During orientation, I felt like that's when I really was like discovering a lot of things about campus, like where things are, what certain things are called, like nicknames for things that you don't really get to know just through social medias and stuff like that. It takes like the hands-on and like upperclassmen to like show you the ropes and all of that. And it was just a really good transition from like not having any classes because of the pandemic, then going into college, and they did it really well.
Yeah, so for orientation, I'll actually be an orientation leader next year. So if you guys see me around, please feel free to say hi. But I loved orientation because my orientation leader and the orientation leader across the hall from me were just best friends. They lived together, and so we just did almost everything the whole entire time together. And our whole entire hallway became like really close. And I still talk to all those guys every single day. My best friends, I live with 3 of them now. So it was just a really great experience to meet new people and just like kind of like build like a brotherhood.
Yeah, Christian, you had freshman orientation, not this year, but the prior
The year
year.
before.
It looked a little bit more normal than maybe some of our other freshman orientation experiences. So hopefully next orientation in September will look a little bit more normal too. So going off of that, what was your favorite activity that you did during freshman orientation?
Go Find Me. It's definitely like a classic. It's like play with two groups, 3 groups, depending on what your orientation wants. But they'll just be like, go find me a spoon. You got to go run around campus so you find a spoon and bring it back. I think mine, I had to go find a rock, like a big rock. And I saw, yeah, that was a fun one.
Very fun. Awesome. Okay, well, that's something that you can definitely look forward to. There's always a lot of events and things going on. I know we had a mechanical bowl at my freshman orientation. There's a lot of fun things that you can do during that week. Our next question is going to be about the size of our school. So we are a small school, medium-sized campus. So how do you guys think that really added to making your college decision, especially with the professors being a little bit more hands-on and the smaller class sizes?
That was something that I was actually looking for in a college because my high school was fairly on the small side. We had like 80 kids in our graduating class. And I really enjoyed being on like a first name basis with everyone and just having a super close connection. And I was actually looking to keep that when I went to college. So coming to Siena, where the campus is large enough where it's not like really cramped, but it's still a small enough school where I know so many people and they know me and we're on a first name basis. And that's what makes it feel like such a community. And I really like that.
I completely agree with what Brianna said. I was also looking for that. My high school, we all knew each other, so same thing that I didn't want to just be a number, and that's something that is extremely important at Siena. You are your name. You are who you are. You're recognized for that. The close relationships that you can form with professors is also extremely important. You're not just a number in a 300-person lecture. You can go to office hours. They know you. They know who you are. They know your work. And that allows for you to go to your professors for help, like more so than at a larger school. They understand you as a person, which I think that is really important.
Yeah, I agree with that because there's only 13 people in my class, at least with my major, and so I know all of them. Got introduced to them first week of school, and so whenever I'm taking extremely hard classes, they're usually all of them are in it. We all pretty much take all their class together. So whenever I need help studying or like I need help like just for a test, anything like that, they're always like a go-to asset, and I just know everybody, even if I'm not like friends with them like outside of like class and stuff like that, but there are definitely people who are willing to help.
Awesome. Yeah, those are all really great answers. Kind of going off of that, Brianna and Elizabeth, you may be able to talk about this because you're currently in this class. So first year seminar is a class that all freshmen have to take. It's really your transition class from high school to college. So what's your favorite part about that class, and how do you think that that class really helps you at the beginning of your 4 years of college?
So, first year seminar is a 2-semester course. So, you take it for the entirety of your freshman year or your first year at Siena. So, your fall semester, you're primarily working with other people's sources, like peer reviewed sources, if you know what that is. If not, you will learn here. And it's a lot of groundwork. And then your second semester, you write a research paper, you really put that all in action. But what am personally getting out of it is just a lot of really good basic like reading and writing skills that can be applicable to any course that you take here. You see the immediate transfer to your other classes, even first semester. I can speak on my behalf and for my friends. It's extremely valuable. I know that a lot of schools have this, but I really love Siena's program. And for anyone that's in the honors program, I know Brianna is too, you are in like a separate section. So it gives you kind of like you get to know the people that are in the program with you. And I found that to be really helpful, having other resources within that.
Yeah, I a couple of things I like about first year sem are that it is a 2-semester course. So I get to spend more time with my classmates and really get to know them and my professor, which I'm a big fan of. And also I really like the class because for most of my stuff, you're with classes that are pertaining to your major if you have declared one. And your first year sem is just a mixture of like all freshmen. It doesn't really matter what your major is. So I get a lot of connections to people outside of the School of Business, which I think is definitely a big plus. That gives me more familiar faces around campus.
One thing I just wanted to add is that each first year seminar section, so like your course, they all have different themes. So that's been very interesting to kind of talk to your peers, and they have completely different themes, and they're all really interesting. So mine is trauma and literature and film. One of my best friends is like developing leaders. So there's all different things, and you do writing and read different texts that have to do with your theme. So it's really interesting.
Yeah, I in my first year seminar class back when I was a freshman, I did Exploring Death. Crazy subject, but it was a lot of fun. It's actually that's one of my favorite professors was from that class. We did yoga all the time. It was a very laid back, easy class. So yeah, you do get to pick your topic. you do have a whole list that you can pick from, and you can really customize it based off of what you're interested in. So that's a really good point. Thank you. So we are going to move on to our next question. Someone had recently done a college visit to Siena and loved the tour. So out of you three, what is your favorite part about Siena? And if you were to tell someone on a tour your favorite spot or somewhere they have to go on campus other than the dorms and the dining hall, what would that spot be?
I'll go first. Hopefully that tour is mine. That'd be really nice. But I am a tour guide. But my favorite spot on campus is the Francis Room. It's in Heinz Hall. It's in the chapel, and just a nice like private study room. It's open 24/7. You go in there at any time. There's a piano in there, so if you ever want to just like mash piano keys like I do, it's a really great place to go. There's couch, TV, like desk, stuff like that. Place you can get work done or just kind of hang out and relax. It's probably my favorite place on campus.
I think I have to say that my favorite place on campus is the patio that's right outside of Casey's. It's like absolutely adorable and definitely wasn't one of the reasons that I chose Siena. But they have really cute lights out there and a nice big fireplace, and they have some good chairs and tables where if it's nice out, you can grab food from Casey's and eat there with your friends. And I really like hanging out over there.
So I'm also a tour guide, and one of my favorite things to talk about on tours is the grotto. That's usually your first stop if you've been on a tour yet. It's modeled after the grotto in Lourdes, France. It's absolutely beautiful. And I like to go there just honestly at night sometimes and just like look at the candles. It's beautiful. You can light a candle anytime, just kind of relax there. Some people do work over there. It's just a really peaceful area.
Awesome. Yeah, the grotto is a really, really nice place to go to, especially at night when there's not a lot of people around. It's really peaceful. Brianna, you talked about the paddock outside of the SSU. The SSU does have some of our food options. It's really the hustle and bustle campus. You're in there all the time getting food. So let's talk about the food for a second. What are our favorite food spots? How's the food on campus?
So this semester, I've been getting really into the dining hall, and it's always been like fine, but like this semester, I just like I always go there. Like I'll go to the gym, work out, and then always get like grilled chicken, rice, like salad, stuff like that. It's probably like my favorite thing to eat on campus these days. It's also very just super consistent. You always know what you're getting.
I'm a big fan of the Launchroom Express because I am a type of person that really likes to load up my schedule. So I'm always running from one place to another, and you just go in, you like pick a couple of things, you swipe your card, and you leave. And it's very quick and easy, and it's super helpful when I'm like in a rush and just need to eat something quick before my next class or another meeting. And they always have chicken nuggets, and I love the chicken nuggets here. Like really good, you guys.
My favorite is probably Bernie's, which is kind of like Chipotle or Moe's. It's like that. So you kind of build your own. My friends and I walked there tonight. It's on kind of the other side of campus by like the townhouses. So it's a beautiful walk over Thompson Trail from where the freshman dorms are. And it was beautiful out today, so it was perfect. But it's really good. I love it. Highly recommend.
Yeah, also right next to Bernie's is Mazzery's, our second dining hall. That's probably one of my favorites on campus because they have Wednesday wing night. There's steak on Thursdays. You can get a really nice grilled steak for you. I used to do that all the time last year. So yeah, we have a lot of food options on campus. Let's move on to our next question. We'll take a step back to our classes and our professors really quick. So on the topic of professors, we are really able to get close to them, and they are required to hold 5 office hours a week for us. But in terms of personality and being able to really connect with them, are they scary? Are they helpful? Are you ever intimidated by any of your professors, or is it really just a comfort that they're there to help you?
I definitely feel like I'm friends with a lot of my professors. Like they'll just like level with me and talk to me like not in a professional way, like obviously not in class cuz got to get stuff done, but if I need help, then they're there to help me. If I'm joking around, they'll laugh, and it's a very good relationship that students build with their professors here. And I've never had a mean professor so far. So I like all my professors.
Yeah, professors have been like, they're so good at responding to emails. It's kind of scary. Like yesterday, I think I probably sent 20 emails to the same professor within like an hour, and they were just responding every single time. And it was very impressive. And they're just really cool people to go and meet and talk to. Even like outside of class, they're just very like relatable people. And then they're also just super available. So office hours are 5 times a week. But if you need to meet with them on a day, past office hours or anything like that, you can probably shoot them an email and they'll always get back to you.
I completely agree. They're all super helpful and professional. They want to see you succeed. They're not looking for you to fail. They want to help you in any way that they can. So I also, what Lily was saying, office hours, very, very important. A great opportunity to get to know your professors too. As much as they want to get to know you, it's really important to get to know them, what they expect from you, because it'll make it a lot easier to communicate. But as Christian was saying, they email back extremely quickly. You'll never be left really questioning. So that's also a very large benefit to having a smaller school.
Yeah,
and on top of what Christian said, oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Like I've said before, I have like a super busy schedule. So a lot of times my availability doesn't line up with their office hours. And I've never had a professor who hasn't been willing to work with me, meet with me over Zoom, or I just come to their office when they're free. They're very accommodating, which I'm not sure you would find at a larger school. That's definitely a perk of a small school.
Did Lily freeze? She hasn't blinked in like 30 seconds.
I think she did.
Sorry, my internet froze for a second. No, that's a really good point though. I've had at least 15 professors give me their personal phone number to be like, hey, like if you ever need help with an assignment, even if you're ever like in trouble, like call me. I'll be there to answer. I've literally last semester I had a 9:30 phone call on a Saturday night with my professor because my group needed help with the project. So they're very willing to work with you, especially after hours and on the weekends even. So yeah, they just really want you to succeed. That's a really good point. Thank you. Okay. Someone is between Siena and 2 other schools. What is your advice for them? I know it's kind of a vague question.
What I did personally, like I was between a couple of schools. Eventually it came down to either this or another school, and I just kept visiting them. I don't know if that's an option for you personally, depending on how far away from the school you are, but I really felt like on top of doing all of these like webinars and live streams and signing up for as many meetings as I could, going to the actual campus itself and getting a feel for it really helped me determine whether I would feel comfortable here and if I would feel at home, and just be involved as you can now, and however you feel doing those things is most likely how you'll feel here.
For me, it actually came down to major, because my major is very rare. It's only about 80 schools in the country, so that's what it came down to. But I'd visited other schools. There's another school in the south I visited 6 times, super far away, but it was a school I just loved. But the fact that they just didn't have my major was just kind of like almost like a deal breaker.
I really recommend making just like lists, making documents, whatever you need to do, lay out all the different factors. There's so many different things, I'm sure you know, that go into making a decision. Money, like length from home, how the size of the school, programs, there's so many different things. write down pros, write down cons. It will become clear to you. For me, it was clear when I came onto campus. It was the feeling that I got, and you have to choose where you feel you could be happiest for 4 years. It's 4 years of your life, but also I think that I placed emphasis on the academic program when I was committing because it is that is why you're going to school. It's half the experience, half the academics, and you just really have to do your research. So that's why I really recommend writing down what you find as you go. And when you sit down and look it over, you'll know.
Yeah, that's really good advice. Thank you. Okay, we are wrapping up soon, so let's get to some other questions before we run out of time. One of them is there a gym? So yes, there is a gym. Students actually have their own fitness facility separate from our D1 athletes, so it's a little bit less intimidating. Do you guys ever go and use the fitness center?
I go every Tuesday and Thursday before my 9:50 class. And it's really nice because I am not athletic in the least bit. And I don't feel like ashamed or embarrassed going to the gym. Like it's very like no judgment. Like I just go in there, do my thing and leave, and it's really easy and nice. I go there a lot.
Yeah, I'm actually going to the gym after this 8 o'clock gym. I go pretty much every single day of the week, and it's a really nice place to go work out and kind of like. There's a lot of really cool guys you can meet there. A lot of cool girls there, always working out. You can talk to, get tips from. So it's definitely a really cool environment.
Yeah, I agree. It's a nice environment. I go like 3 times a week with my friends, and it's just a nice like kind of break from school. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So our next question, I know Christian, you go to the gym at night, but for everybody else, what does nightlife look like during the week, on the weekends? What do you all like to do?
So the Student Events Board is a big organization on campus that I'm a part of, and we put on a different event every Saturday night, every Thursday night. There's always something for you to do on campus. So if you're looking for something, you will find it. We had a carnival last weekend in one of the parking lots. There's always something. You can hang out with your friends. Of course, COVID has definitely made that a little difficult. But hanging out outdoors as the weather's getting nicer has been really nice. So many people were out and about today. Yeah, there's always something if you're looking for it.
Yeah, I was going to mention I went to the carnival, and it was definitely a lot of fun. I went with my friend, and we played a lot of games, even though we didn't win, but it was still a whole lot of fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I just like to hang out with friends at night. Any night, weekends, weekdays, whatever it is. Usually don't go to bed till probably 2 a.m. at any given night. So I'm always just kind of like just hanging out, just like chilling with people. And I think it's just nice. Pretty much almost all my friends, I could literally knock on their door right now. Even if they're like, they could be taking a test and I'll just sit there and like annoy them. So, but you can always just hang out with people. Someone's always willing to just like sit down and relax.
Awesome. Okay, so actually going into the dorms and how they're set up, can you guys talk about what your favorite part of the dorms are? Maybe give advice on some things that you should bring or should not bring your freshman year, how to set up your room, everything like that.
I think the first and most important thing is that whenever you find out who your roommate is, either over Facebook or if you do random through questionnaire, you should always like discuss what you guys are bringing, so you don't bring like 2 microwaves. It's never a good idea. But I live in a quad, a 4-person room. We do 2 and 2, and in each room, and this is a really nice place where a lot of people like aim for sophomore year. Definitely like a worthwhile thing. But I think the most important thing to bring is a microwave. We use microwave all the time. Love it. We need to clean it, but it's perfect. It's a really great thing to have.
I agree that it's extremely important to communicate with your roommate, see what you're bringing. sometimes it's if you want to rent a microwave and a fridge, like Christian was saying, it's important to have in your room, or you can each bring one. In my opinion, the most important thing that I brought was a mattress pad to go on top of the mattress that Santa gives you, just for your own comfort. And I know that a lot of my friends feel that that was the most important thing that they brought, but as you're packing up freshman year, you're going to bring a lot of unnecessary stuff, and that can be unavoidable. I did it, and I went home for a weekend, and I brought like 3 bags of stuff home. But definitely just like as you're going through your stuff, be like, is this reasonable? Do I think I'm going to need it? Do I think I'm going to use it? And that will help you a little bit.
Yeah, I definitely had the same problem that Elizabeth did. I brought way too much stuff, and I probably will continue to do so because I just can't part with my things. But 10 out of 10, the most important thing that I brought was a computer monitor. I was not planning on bringing that, but I was taking a coding class, and they suggested me getting one, and it is the best thing I've ever brought because I can have my Zoom on my computer and all of my like documents open on here, and it's just really helpful for me to lay things out and see everything without it being on my small computer screen, especially with online classes. Super helpful.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like everyone said, bringing too many things is inevitable, especially your freshman year. I am a senior and I'm still bringing way too many things. So you'll figure out a nice balance once you get through your college career. But be on the lookout. We are in the works on a video for maybe what's something that you wish you brought your freshman year and you didn't. What's something that you brought and didn't really need. So be out on the lookout for that. And then our last question to wrap up the night is why Siena? So if you could pick any school in the world and you pick Siena, what's that reason?
When I visited campus, it felt like home. I saw myself here. I saw myself doing well here academically. For me, extracurricular things like community service, just getting involved, was really important to me in high school. And I knew that there would be a lot of opportunities for me here with that. But really just the feeling that I got when I walked onto campus. It had everything I wanted. It's a small school. I'm from Long Island. I know a lot of people from Long Island here. So if you're watching from there, it's a good distance from home. It gave me my independence, where I can still go home for a weekend. It had everything I wanted, and it was really just that feeling when I went onto campus. So I recommend visiting if you haven't.
I definitely agree with everything she just said, and kind of adding on to that, I felt like me being here was important to other people. Like people genuinely wanted me to be here, and it's a good feeling. Like you want to be wanted, and like having people like emailing you and being like, "Hey, are you coming? Like I want to have this meeting with you. I want to talk to you." And it's just a good feeling. Like they're family here.
Yeah, it's got to be the people. There have been multiple days where I've never actually opened a door for myself. Like someone's just always holding a door, and they're just like walking around. It's like it's super awkward too sometimes, you know. Like there's one, it's just like I'm 20 feet away and the person's holding the door, but it just makes you feel really good. Like people are always holding doors. Everyone's just super nice on campus, and it kind of just feels like I'm in the Twilight Zone sometimes. Just like how bizarrely nice people are to me.
Yeah, everyone's really nice. The professors are really nice. To put it into my perspective, or put it into perspective, my experience at Siena, I came in as a high school scholar. So I graduated high school early and I came here, and then I decided, hey, like, why not transfer? Why not pick a different school and try something new for like my freshman year? And I actually was supposed to go to a different school and decided 2 weeks before moving in that I couldn't leave Siena because the professors were way too nice. And yeah, you'd be surprised all of the friends that you meet so quickly and the bonds that you make with your professors. And once you're at Siena, you never want to leave. So yeah, just to put it into perspective. Last thoughts. Does anyone have anything else they want to share? Any other tips or advice for our admitted students who are really just trying to figure out where they want to go?
My best advice would be if you have questions right now, ask them. Email admissions, like find us on social media, ask us. Anyone at Siena is more than willing to help you, and we want you here. Like we want you to choose Siena. It's amazing here. We love it. So if you have questions, if anything comes up, ask. We've all been through the college process before. We're here for you.
Absolutely. Great. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope that we answered as many questions as we could in this time and that we gave some better insight into life at Siena. It was great to have you all.